Yes, leadership is really the toughest part of running any enterprise, and highly effective leadership at that. I think the starting point for me is to get some inspiration about leadership. What makes for a great leader? And I cast my mind back to Dr. Martin Luther King. He was an African American who led the civil rights movement in the 1960s in America, a peaceful movement. He was a man full of passion, full of commitment, sincerity, all great character qualities. And he got on the side of the needy, the poor, the oppressed. And he became for them a hope bearer. Just think of the Washington DC "I Have a Dream" speech. It was just simply fantastic, bringing it closer to home. I've been inspired to leadership by the late Dudley Drew, an oil painter, master artist in Australia. I was privileged to go to his classes for some years on a Saturday morning, stressed to the max from work, and I walked into the room Saturday by Saturday, admired his great artwork, and he was, throughout the lesson, even though I'm very amateur, he was a great encourager of me, and he just released creativity that I didn't even think I had. And he put some balance into my life through his encouragement, through lifting me up and exhorting me to better, and a contentment in the midst of work, stress. He was my model leader, sadly dying at the age of 92. Another very interesting thing, I think, is what are the unique qualities for Aussie leadership in Australia? I was asked by a consultant many years ago to jot down 10 points of leadership qualities. And on a plane trip from Melbourne to Canberra, I just wrote those down. I called it Leadership at 30,000 feet. And it was all about having passion, enthusiasm, high energy, optimism, that my plans and strategies are second to my heart and soul as a leader, that the leadership paradigm I'm after is one of servanthood, not one of commanding and dictating, overly directing, but listening and caring. And as I say, being a hope bearer, and to have healthy, life-giving relationships with my team, giving them a bit of fun, laughter, gentle teasing, and yes, socialising, to encourage them. A word in season of encouragement is so important, to lift them up and exhort them better. Throw in constructive criticism as well. After writing that charter of leadership at 30,000 feet, I got to thinking there's something missing here. So I asked one of my team members back then to write what he expected from me as a leader of our law practice. He sat down and he did the exercise I did. We called that leadership at grassroots. And he wrote about what he's wanting from his leaders in his workplace. He wants a pleasant, healthy workplace with a vibrant workplace culture. He wants an empowering culture. He wants to work for, not for me, but with me. And he wants me to set a good example, to be inspiring, to have some passion, enthusiasm, to coach and to mentor, to be technically competent so he can learn, affirm and encourage with constructive criticism. Many years ago, we put together in my law firm what we call a leadership care charter. That's to help shape the vibrant workplace culture that I was after as a leader. And so it sets down very simply, what are the standards of conduct that are expected of any leader in our law firm for accountability purposes to our stakeholders, particularly to the team. And so that leadership care charter is profoundly important because it gives shape and accountability for leadership. The other really important thing about leadership, and I put this in my book, it's all about getting a personal motivation and doing self-appraisal. Many years ago, I was a gladiator, believe it or not, in my gym class. I was a gym junkie, crazy, and loved the exercise. And it was great for my sense of well-being and peace of mind and stress release, and really enjoying relationships with others. Sadly, about 5 years ago, I got dengue fever in Malaysia, and I've struggled ever since with poor health. So be it. My point is that as leaders, we bring the whole of ourselves into any workplace, and we have to have it together with body, mind, and spirit, or inner well-being if you prefer, and our relationships need to be good on the outside as we come into the workplace. That's very important for us to do some self-appraisal and some adjusting, fine-tuning. Personal motivation is extremely important. I won't settle for anything less than our enterprise becoming world's best. That's a driving motivation, a real sense of purpose to what we do day in and day out. Lastly, on leadership, 5 qualities for highly effective leadership. I'd commend these to anyone. They beat away within me. I've got my L plates on all day, every day. Far from perfect, but at least I try. Warmly relational is really important. Having some resilience, having wisdom and insight is profoundly important, because whatever we do, making widgets or whatever, we're in the people business. Being optimistic is important, and being a hope bearer, just like Martin Luther King, to carry hope to others, hope for a better future. That's what leadership is all about.